Hi, welcome to Pico Playtime, the video series where I play some cool Pico 8 games to show to you lovely people. Today's game is called Bomber's Run and it's by Melvin Samuel. And that's my crappy intro. Let's load up the game and then see if we can talk about it for a little bit. But before that, as usual, there is my pointless and stupid endorsement of an energy drink. Today's is one of the big boys. It's a kind of monster energy, the Doctor VR46. Ross, I'm not sure what the name of this is. There's just words written on the can. It's something to do with MotoGP. Okay, MotoGP champion Valentino Rossi, I've heard of him, has thrilled fans around the world with over 100 victories and 9 world championships. I feel very similar to Valentino Rossi in that regard. We teamed up with Valentino, aka the Doctor, that's where the name comes from, to create our fastest monster ever. So this is fast, somehow. With a light, crisp, there's that word again, crisp, refreshing citrus flavour and a full load of our energy monster energy blend. I think I may have added some extra words in there. It will get you up to speed in a hurry. So this is a fast drink. It's in a yellow can. The only word on there besides to describe the flavour, besides crisp and light, which they say for it absolutely everything, is citrus. So I'm guessing this is going to be a lemon drink. Let's find out. In a massive can. Grapefruit. It's quite nice. A bit like Lilt. There you go. I'm feeling faster already. And that's going to help because today's game is called Bomber's Run. Bomber's Run, let's read the description. Take on the role of Bomber. This is Bomber here. A magical, curious creature who is ready for a new adventure. Jump, dodge, stomp and bomb your way through this intense retro arcade game. Very accurate description. This is an intense retro arcade game. It's a kind of, what would you call it, a one-screen platformer, kind of like the comparison that most people in the comments on itch that I've read. The main comparison is Bubble Bobble. Sorry, but I never played that. There's lots of old arcade games like this, though, with kind of looping, screen wrapping. The one that pops to mind for me is Flicky. Yeah. You see what I mean when we get into it. Now, I usually have a rule with these games. I try and play through them in their entirety before I go and talk about them, because it seems a bit unfair to start talking about a game without having played it all. However, this game's really hard, and I've got, the best I got, there's 20 levels, the furthest I got is 12 levels in. I don't have the talent for this game, but it's a lot of fun. So, let's get cracking. I've just pressed the start button in the wrong window. Isn't this smooth? No, I don't have to shut that up. Oh dear. Okay, shall we try that again? Maybe I need some more Doctor. The Doctor. I need some more of whatever this is called. It's just expensive lilt. Right, let's try that again then. There we are. Now I'm actually in the right window. Bomber's Run. Quite a minimal title screen. So yeah, as you can see, Melvin Samuel made this game, and as is becoming quite a trend, we've got some music by Gruber on there. Check both of those people out. Yeah, let's get into the game. So this doesn't hold your hand, this game, one bit. It's a kind of, as you can see, a looping platformer. We can go all the way around the screen. And yeah, the idea of the game is to defeat all the enemies. Pretty straightforward, yes? Well, no. Right, we have a few powers. We can stomp on characters like that to daze them, and then we can pick them up and throw them. We can defeat the enemies by throwing things at them, throwing them at walls, blowing them up. Lots of ways to attack, but things start to get rather chaotic, shall we say. As more and more things and enemies are put onto the screen, and also the layouts get more complicated, this game gets quite challenging, and I'm already getting to the point where I'm getting quite confused, which doesn't take a lot, it has to be said. So technically this game's outstanding. All the platform mechanics you'd expect are in there. It's all really crisp. I found one bug, which is minor and doesn't really affect how the game plays. But other than that, it's just so solidly made. Which is good because it gives me more time to spend talking about the gameplay. Often I can get bogged down talking about the technical sides of games, or attempting to with my limited knowledge of programming, and I don't get to talk to as much about gameplay. But not the case this time. Oh, what happened then? Okay, so there's quite a lot of game mechanics to talk about in this. For a start, you may notice at the top of the screen there is a clock. There is a clock. That is always counting down, so our game only lasts, how many is it? About 15 minutes, is it? I'm not sure. Either way, we have a certain amount of time at the start of the game, and dying gives us the death penalty in time. This is where the game gets hard. If you cannot clear levels quickly and efficiently without dying, you're not going to get very far, which is what my problem is. And as you can see, there is lots of ways to interact with the enemies, lots of approaches, you might say. So yeah, it really tests your arcade gaming skills, I suppose. I'm trying to think of a good way of putting this. Sometimes you do a level really easily and you feel like a platforming god. That's great when that happens. This isn't one of those times. Things can get kind of out of control very quickly. And yeah, each level, I won't say there's one way of doing level, but it definitely feels like there are kind of optimal ways of doing things, and as you probably guessed, I haven't found many of those optimal ways of doing things yet. But I'm having a great time figuring it out. So, as you can see, using bombs seems to take off some time, dying takes off some time, and just not being very fast also obviously wastes time. So yeah, time management is a really big part of this game. Now, one of the things that I quite like are these little platforms which you can jump down on. Don't know why I like them so much, but I just think it's pretty cool ambushing enemies from above. Now, you may have noticed there I threw the enemy, but because it didn't hit anything, it kind of stopped being thrown and was dazed. If you let the enemies recover after that point, they kind of move a lot faster and a lot more dangerous, so I don't want to do that. This, I don't know what that character is there, I'm just calling them little blue bastards. That guy there that I just jumped on, I hate those guys. The number of times that they've thrown one of their stupid little bombs and killed me, very frustrating. Oh dear, I lost some time there. I'm not entirely sure why you sometimes lose 5 seconds. I think it's to do with throwing bombs, maybe because I've only got one bomb left. Maybe? I'm not sure. Now, as you can see, the levels start to get rather hard. Right, I think it's because I've run out of bombs. Maybe. I seem to still be able to throw bombs, but it costs me 5 seconds. Maybe? Oh, I have no idea. I'm dying so much. Yeah, as you can see, I don't know how many levels I'm in here. Is this maybe the 7th or 8th level? And I've got 2 minutes left to complete 12 levels or so. That's not going to happen, is it? So, yeah, there is a... See, I lost 5 seconds again. I'm not sure why. There's a very high skill ceiling in this game, which is refreshing. It's not easy making a game like that, I don't think, where it's easy to pick up but difficult to master. A lot of the best games that you can think of tend to be like that, especially platformers, I think. So this is impressive gameplay wise. This game really feels like an old school arcade game. You know the ones, those really hard games that would eat all of your money in the 80s. I'm not really old enough to remember most of them games, but I can remember playing them on old arcade cabinets on seaside holidays and things, which I really enjoy. So yeah, this is like a big nostalgia hit, and it just reminds you that you're not actually very good at these games. Oh dear, oh dear, oh no. Time's up. So hey, you can see how far I got there. 11 levels in out of 20. Died 15 times, which is actually less than normal. And the previous few runs that I did, where I tried to get as far as I could, I got to about the same part of the game, died 20 times. Threw a lot of bombs in that, 39 bombs. You may notice, depending on how you progress in level, that affects your score, naturally. So if you don't die, you get a bonus for not dying. I think that kind of scales with the levels. And you also get points for not using bombs and things. But as you can see, I'm not very good at the game yet. So, all these stats I love. It's very cool to know how well you're doing. It'd be even cooler if I could actually complete the game. So this is something I'm going to have to practice, I think. But like I should be hopefully getting across to you, this game is definitely worth your attention. I would recommend playing it with a controller. Trying to attempt this with keyboard and mouse sounds like a fool's errand. Don't do that to yourself. Now you can see there, I cleared that level pretty well. That makes you feel like a god. That's level 1. If you could do that for all the other levels, well, you'd be better at this game than I. But hopefully you can sort of see, now that I've kind of got into the swing of things, got warmed up, you might say, I can kind of do more impressive looking kind of level clearances. So, like I say, challenging game, but rewarding and fun. I don't really need to go, like I said, I don't really need to talk about this from a technical point of view. All the gameplay is solid, it's crisp controls, the graphics are beautiful, the music by Gruber, as always, is high quality and tuneful, and yeah, I think this is a really good game on Pico 8. Look at that. Plus 200 points for not dying. Don't think I'm going to keep that up, am I? I would love to see someone better at the gameplay of this, because yeah, this is pretty embarrassing from my point of view, isn't it? There's not many enemies in the game. Oh well, I don't know. I don't know how many enemies there are in the game, so I can't get that far. I feel as though I've probably met most of the enemies in the game, maybe not, who knows. Anyway, the enemies that I've seen in the game, that you have seen, I really like the design of them. Their behaviour is easy to kind of understand, and it all fits together in a nice way. It's such a cool game, this. Seriously, the idea that this has just been made, you know, I mean, this first released in 2017, so it's, you know, 2 or 3 years old now, or 3 years old now. It feels like an old school arcade game. Besides the graphics, which obviously are kind of in that Pico 8 style, which always look kind of cool and retro, the gameplay, it just feels like something Namco would have made, you know, in the sort of mid-80s. Very cool game. Now, something I haven't figured out yet, these red things that are kind of bouncing around, rolling down the level. Sometimes you can grab these, but most of the time they seem to kill you, and I don't really understand that one. Oh. Yeah, this is where I start to really lose time by dying a lot. The game doesn't have a tutorial mode. Arguably it doesn't need it, but you are going to have a kind of a learning period where you just kind of get into grips with all the mechanics in the game, because there are, as you can see, a lot of mechanics. Oh, you see now that guy, he's going to need throwing again, isn't he? Hey, there we go. There is a lot going on in the game. It is quite a complex game. That's why I'd say it's got such a high kind of skill ceiling. But learning those mechanics, getting to grips with the game, a lot of fun. I'm starting to repeat myself. I need another swig of Dr. Rossi. Very nice. Am I doing better in this run than before? It's hard to say, really. I started off better, but then I had a pretty disastrous level. Oh, I didn't die on that time. Well, that's good. I'll tell you what, I'll finish this run, see how far I can get, see if I can do better than level 11. I think I need to use the bombs more, don't I? Maybe. Oops. Ah, there we go. That's the glitch that I found. Or the bug. Or the glitch and the bug. Pretty minor. Looks like a collision issue. Collision's a nightmare in Pico 8. So there you go. That's it. That's the bug that I found. Yeah, learning a kind of... I think if you were good at this game, I'm sure you could kind of work out a kind of route or get a kind of strategy that works for each level. I kind of learned a little trick there where the two bomb guys that drop are kind of next to each other. You can use one bomb to get them. This is a hard level. Oh. When there is a lot going on the screen, when there's lots of enemies, it does get quite confusing. There's so much going on at times. But then again, you can just be stupid like that and then you're going to die as well. That looked okay, didn't it? Hey, I got further than I did last time. One very minor criticism I think I'd say is that it's kind of confusing sometimes where your player character starts on the screen. There's been a few times where, especially when you've respawned, with the fact that we've got due to the fact that we've got kind of a lot of screen wrapping in the game, it can get quite confusing. You can often lose where your character is on the screen. Maybe a little bit more feedback there from the game would help. But like I say, very minor criticism. I'm definitely getting further now, but I've still only got 3 minutes left. So yeah, I'm sure there are people who are very good at this game who can get very far into things. Oh my. Oh dear, what's going on here? Oh, you see there, I've dazed those bat enemies, but I didn't actually manage to kill them. So now they're making my life an absolute misery. Oh, this is a difficult level. This is so complicated. So much going on. Need to get that guy. Right, okay. So okay, we're back. There we go. So I've got 1 minute 14 seconds left. I'm not sure what level I'm on, but okay, now I've got 50 seconds left. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'd love to see what the level looks like after this kind of this series of stages. I do like how there's like ice levels, there's those kind of high-tech looking levels, the kind of grassy cavey levels to start with. Oh, here we go, back on the grassy cavey levels. Oh my god, those guys, fireballs. Oh dear. Right, well that's the first I've ever got. 15 levels completed out of 20. So that's good, I suppose. Didn't use as many bombs. Died the same number of times. Level average 48 seconds. Is that better? I don't know. Anyway, excellent game here, Bombers Run. Definitely worth checking out. I've put a link to the itch page. As usual, it's in itch. You can play it in Splore and Pico 8. I'm playing it in Splore. You can download a kind of standalone version from itch. So yeah, lots of ways to play this game, and I highly recommend checking it out. Challenging but fun retro arcade game. A lot of things in it to learn, a lot of skills to pick up, and a lot of skills to master. Definitely worth the effort. I'm having a lot of fun trying to beat it. Maybe I can try and beat it. Maybe I have to do this video again when I can actually complete the game. Who knows? Anyway, to play us out, we have got another swig of the Doctor Energy Monster VR46. What is VR46's bike? Is that the bike he uses? So many questions about this drink. Anyway, it tastes like Lilt, and it's probably full of caffeine. So there you go. Bombers Run, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it was a little bit late today. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you again very soon.